In the mid to late 90s, there were three certains in life: death, taxes, and Jeff Gordon winning at road courses. Whilst his domination in the 90s was something to behold in of itself, his streak of victories at the circuit's 2 road courses is something that may never be replicated again. But with every streak of domination, it has to come to an end. And the man to do it was a person nobody would expect. Watkins Glen, 1997. Jeff Gordon claims his first ever road course win. It is merely par for the course, as the young kid from California would go on to claim would be his 8th win of 1997 at that point. Championship number 2 soon succeeded Gordon's Glen win, and in 1998 he claimed his 2nd road course win, and first at Sears Point. To back it up, he wins again at Watkins Glen during that year, and the 1999 Snowmobile race would mark 2 years since Jeff Gordon had lost at a road course. It appeared nobody could stop him yet again at Watkins Glen. That'd be his last win with crew chief Ray Evernham. 2000 seemed to be yet another walk in the park for Gordon. He easily passed by his 3-year anniversary and secured the official undefeated streak of 1,100 plus days. Watkins Glen was next, and Gordon was looking at 7 in a row. And after the sun set on day 1,196, day 1,197 hosted Gordon's greatest challenge. Race 21 of 34 in 2000. Qualifying was cancelled with set points leader Bobby Labonte on the pole. Outside is reigning champion Dale Jarrett, and Jeff Gordon will be starting in 8th. Jeff has struggled more this season than in recent memory. He sits 423 points behind the championship leaders, and only 9 points ahead of Ricky Rudd and 60 ahead of Mark Martin. However, of his 2 prior wins this season, one of them is at the aforementioned Sonoma race. Gordon has brought chassis 2427, which has dominated the road courses throughout his career. It's proven faithful so far, fastest on happy hour practice, and on a beautiful day in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York, we go green.
These little small straightaway of about 100 yards. These cars will make a right-hand corner, and the green flag will be waved in their face, and we'll see, can Dale Jarrett lead that first lap? Can he beat Bobby Labonte down in turn 1?
I'm sure that Bobby has that same idea. And we saw those clouds in the background. They say there's no threat of rain, but there are a lot of clouds here. Okay, we're about ready to go, Bob.
Field comes out of turn number 11. There's a green flag, and the global crossing at the Glen at Watkins Glen is underway.
Labonte and Earnhardt break free early, charging up the S's and down the back straight. The field weaves through the tricky Kendall corners before flying through the carousel. Heading into turn 1 on lap 2, Gordon starts attacking and pulls side by side with Tony Stewart. They touch off the corner and then go through the S's.
Another one, and Jeff Gordon moves to the inside of Tony Stewart through turn number 1. They make contact coming off the corner.
Well, let's see who's going to get the best of this battle. Gordon has the inside on this right-hander, but now Stewart has it on the other one. They're still banging together.
And George in the wall.
Gordon is way off pace. And before we can acknowledge the magnitude of Gordon's incident,
Jeff Gordon went into the guardrail, putting further damage to his DuPont Chevy. You can see there's significant damage to it.
And Earnhardt
is into the styrofoam coming out of the inner loop.
Immediately, the win streak is in jeopardy, and Earnhardt's car is done. It appears Earnhardt lost it through the tricky rights and lefts, and is the first victim of the Kendall Corners in 2000. As Earnhardt pulls out the pit lane, Stewart and Gordon pit to repair the damage. Gordon has a bent front right suspension, and also apparently bent the throttle in the incident. Stewart's team is fixing the rear crush panel, and other various rubs and dents. The team, as the field comes to the restart, is still repairing the car, and gets lapped, in effect ending the 6-race streak. In a matter of 4 laps, it's over for Gordon. And now, who for the first time since 1997 can claim victory at a road course? Bobby Labonte leads, going for his first ever road course win. The 36-year-old driver is 0 for 15 in road course races, and with his confident lead early on, it's keeping him out of this.
Oh, and Sterling Marlin spins off of corner number 11 and creates a bottleneck behind it, but everybody, it looks like, survived.
So far, so good.
And he gets going again. Don't look like he hit anything, did he?
Marlin and the field somehow gets away with it, and we find out that Marlon was turned by an overzealous Jerry Nadeau. On the move through the field is road course ringer Ron Fellows, who is flying up through the field. Fellows is driving a Joe Nemechek-owned 87, to which he drove to a second place last year with. Jeff Burton up front stalks Bobby Labonte as Steve Park, Ron Hornaday, and Matt Kenseth fight amongst one another. Hornaday is in the 5 Hendrick car this week, filling in for an injured Terry Labonte. It marks the first time in over 600 races that the Iceman has missed an event, ending his iconic Ironman streak. Down in the last 2 corners, Burton fires by Labonte and puts his Ford out front. Burton has a losing streak of 13 races on road courses, as looking at becoming the man to snap Gordon's stupendous streak. As the race nears its 6th mark, Ron Fellows has whittled his way up to the 15th place position. A congress of cars cover the positions behind the road ringer as they dice up for their respected running positions. Eventually Mark Martin makes a move and passes by Dale Jarrett. Mark was the last master of the road courses pre-Jeff Gordon. He had won 3 Watkins Glen races in a row and was the last man to win a road course before Gordon did in 1997. He's moving up early now and is trying to take his throne back. Meanwhile, Dale Jarrett gets passed by Steve Park, and Park is confident as he thinks the only track in his home state is his best shot at victory. He even went as far to say to Ned Jarrett during the week that he thought he could win, but now he just needs to prove it. Martin makes another pass on Ward Burton, and now by lap 20, Ron Fellows has gone from 41st to 12th. Soon, though, he begins to slow. Something appears to be wrong on the 87 car. And now another road course ringer, PJ Jones, has damage from running into Tony Stewart. He's begun to overheat and has to pit. And soon Ricky Rudd darts to the 3rd place position past Rusty Wallace. Bobby Labonte has gone back to the lead now by lap 23, and Ron Fellows has gone to the garage. Soon Steve Park goes by Mark Martin heading into the Kendall corners, placing himself 5th behind lap car Kyle Petty. All of a sudden, late in the run, Rusty Wallace blows turn 610 and has to make a quick evasion through the sand trap. He immediately runs down the pit lane, and soon he is accompanied by various others the next lap. Labonte takes 4 along with Jeff Burton, Park, Rudd, and Ward Burton. Park's crew is the one getting it done, beating everybody off the pit lane. Mark soon comes in the next lap with Dale Jarrett behind him. Finally, Darrell Waltrip stops and hands the lead over to Steve Park, who's perhaps the most shocking driver at the front for some. However, Steve has proven to be an impressive road racer. At this track, when he ran the Truck Series race, he won the pole. And as Park runs in the spotlight, his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. exits stage left.
31 in the 8. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the 31 also involved, and the caution is out for the 2nd time here at Watkins Glen.
Jr. and his bleached tips are now out of the race under the 2nd caution. Steve Park leads the field back to the restart on lap 39, and the race runs green for a short period of time before Kyle Petty crashes in the carousel. Under the 3rd caution, Ricky Rudd is having carburetor issues and replaces it with a new carb. Apparently, Jeff Gordon now has been black flagged for jumping the restart, and Jerry Nadeau has lost 3rd gear. The race restarts again on lap 43 with Rusty getting jumped on by the cars behind him. By halfway in the race now, Park has established a half-second lead over the Burton brothers behind him. Robbie Gordon has now migrated to the 8th place position, and now at the front, Burton is there. Jeff can't do much, and eventually Brother Ward is passed by Mark Martin. And as the race approaches 35 to go, Jimmy Spencer spins off the carousel and quickly straightens it out. It appears Jimmy was spun by Ricky Rudd, and all of a sudden Mark Martin and Jeff Burton come down the pit lane. The next lap after the Roush Brigade pit, Park is in, and the Pennzoil crew is at work. They put down a 15.4 second stop, and Ward Burton meanwhile is missing a lug nut and will have to come back in. Labonte soon also comes in and has a modest stop. It appears the final stops are done, and it'll become a 30-lap sprint after Robbie Gordon pits. After the stragglers pit, caution is out for Mike Bliss A-bombing down the front stretch. Various teams pit headlined by Ricky Rudd, and John Andretti now has brake issues. Meanwhile, Ward Burton is in an ultimatum position. Over the last 10 minutes, Burton's crew chief Tommy Baldwin has been arguing that the car does not have a loose lug nut. The officials, though, are certain that he does have one lug missing, and the 2 parties have made a deal, however. They will bring Burton down to check the lug to see if it's missing. If no loose lug, they will let him on track and keep his position with no service. If there is a loose lug, to the tail of the line he goes. On the first pass by and the ability to check it, Burton does not come in. It seems apparent that Ward just passed up an opportunity to serve a penalty under caution. But to the incredible luck of Ward, they extend the yellow a lap. The next lap, Ward does come in. The moment of truth now. Is there a loose lug?
A race car. He was standing right there looking at this left rear tire. Here comes Ward Burton down pit road. They will stop the car. The NASCAR official will have to look at it and see if the lug nut is on. and there are just 4 on. The NASCAR official was exactly correct.
Yes, the official aced it. After ESPN runs a tribute for Herb Thomas, who passed earlier this week, the race goes back green. Jeff Gordon is leading on the restart, as he's the tail end of the lead lap. He's hoping for a caution to redeem his streak and defend it. Steve Park, meanwhile, rolls behind him, and as they race, Tom Huber hits the foam, and the caution comes out. Jeff now got his lap back. The race restarts once more with 20 laps left, and the first move for position was Robbie Gordon for 4th place. Into the carousel, the Roushketeers stalk the lone DEI soldier, and Jeff and Mark race hard for 2nd place. Finally, the top 3 soared out with Robbie Gordon watching on. Coming to 18 to go, Johnny Benson goes for a scenic ride in turn 610, but keeps it going. Sterling in the 1 mimics Benson's move, and Gordon meanwhile is back in the pack, weaving through traffic, showing that nothing can hold him down. The beaten and bruised 24 charges through the field as Rusty Wallace detours down the pit lane. He has cut a tire down, and with 11 laps to go, Mark Martin passes by Jeff Burton, and now he begins his chase of Steve Park. Park has crew chief Paul Andrews, who has gotten the first career victories for Alan Kowicki in 1988 and Jeremy Meefield in 1998, and now he's trying to get Park his first. In the back, Ricky Rudd is flying through the field, and Jeff Gordon is up to 26th from 34th on the restart. But Jerry Nadeau spins out and quickly gets it going. 7 to go at the line, and Mark Martin closes to 8 tenths. 6 to go now, and the gap is merely 2 car lengths. Park squeals his tires in the turn. Now Martin is pushing hard with 5 laps left. The 2 at the front have already put 4 seconds on 3rd, and Mark appears to be leader. The magnitude of this win for the former modified driver is not only would he break Gordon's incredible streak, but he is beating head-to-head the other road course ace in Mark Martin. Mark is doing everything to apply the pressure to the 1 car. At one point it's 1 car length, then 3 feet, and now coming to 3 to go, Mark looks into turn 1, but Park holds steady. Climbing altitude through the flying S's, behind them Tony Stewart makes a daredevil pass on Dale Jarrett. Rusty runs in front of the 2 leaders, and Mark Martin is still holding tightly to Steve and goes high on him coming to go. Down in the 1, Rusty pulls over and lets them go, and Labonte and Robbie Gordon race hard for 4th. They now come to the white flag, and Mark Martin is going to fight him down to the wire. Mark jumps the outer curve as the white flag flies, and they stay tidy and head for the high-speed S's. The cars get light over the hill and sail down the back straight, and they go one last time through the Kendall corners. Left and right and sweeping through the carousel, neither slip. And coming home,
Mark Martin remains a couple of car lengths behind. He's on sweeper here. Turn 9, a straightaway, and 2 more, and then the checkered flag.
Both of those drivers just absolutely driving their heart out.
I'm telling you what, to get everything they possibly have in their body, trying to get to the victory lane.
Through turn number 10.
1 more to go.
And Steve Park is going to do it. Steve Park is going to win the Global Crossing at the Glen. His first NASCAR Winston Cup victory in his 77th race.
a streak of 1,196 days, a head-to-head with a NASCAR legend, all beaten by an up-and-coming modified driver from East Northport, New York. Steve Park conquered them all.